So we've got Mono Black, Aggro, and Pioneer, which I assume has primarily been enabled by the unbanning of Smuggler's Copter. So initially it might seem like there's not much to say. It's, you know, Mono Black, Aggro, pretty straightforward. So I think there are a few intricacies to here. So the straightforward stuff is obviously going to be there's 4 copies of Fatal Push for removal, and there's 4 Thoughtseizes. Yeah, every single black deck plays these cards. And then you've got the Smuggler's Copters, and there's 2 Heartless Acts as our removal spells. But when you start getting into the nitty-gritty of exactly what cards the deck is playing, it becomes a little different. So we have a Blood-Soaked Champion as a 2/1 that can't block, that can come back for 2 mana if you've attacked this turn. But then you'll notice that a lot of the other creatures really suck. So Fairy Dream Thief is a 1 mana 1/1 flyer, ETB you surveil 1, and if it's in your graveyard, you can pay 3 mana and exile it to draw a card and lose a life. And then similarly over here, Deep Cavern Bat is a 2 mana 1/1 flying lifelink that ETBs to exile a card from your opponent's hand until it leaves. And you might initially think, well, isn't this an aggro deck? Why are we running Fairy Dream Thief and Deep Cavern Bat? Because traditionally, the mono black aggro decks in Pioneer have had plenty of options for 2 and 3 power creatures to play on 1 and 2 mana. In particular, aside from Blood-Soaked Champion, there are tons of 1 mana 2 power creatures, multiple of which come back from the graveyard. Same thing on 2, like Scrap Heap, Scrounger, etc. And the main thing that you have to realize is that this deck is very heavily leaning into Gix as a card advantage engine. So Gix is a 3 mana 3/3, and it says whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life. If they do, they draw a card. So if you hit your opponent, you draw a card and lose a life per creature that hits them. And this is similar to cards like Edric, Spymaster of Tress, and Toski, and Timna the Weaver, where you want to utilize this ability in combination with cheaper things that you've played out before to get into your opponent, which is why the Fairy Dream Thieves and Deep Cavern Bats actually make sense. They're both flying, which means that they're harder to block, so the evasion is going to allow you to attack into your opponent and draw cards. And the Deep Cavern Bat allows you to take one of your opponent's cards, perhaps a removal spell that could kill Gix, and then get the Gix online. Gix also has a super late game ability that may occasionally come up. 7 mana, discard X cards, exile the top X of your opponent's library. You may play lands and cast spells from them without paying for them. Then, obviously, Graveyard Trespasser. This could also be Preacher of the Schism. Like, there are multiple options, but Graveyard Trespasser, it's another card that's just like a little bit harder to get rid of with removal. And then you've got 2 top-end Shieldreds here to close out the game. Also, the power of your creatures, like on the Fairy Dream Thief and Deep Cavern Bat end, aren't as important when they can all crew Smuggler's Copter because it only requires crew 1. So that's a little bit of what you're doing. And then the land base is pretty straightforward. It's a ton of swamps, 1 Takenuma, 1 Urborg, and then we've got the 4 Mutavaults, 2 Hives, 2 Castles, and a Mirrex. Then in the sideboard, so there's a Duress for when we need some more Thoughtseizes. There's Go Blank for the grindy matchups / matchups where the graveyard matters. We've got Extinction Event as our sweeper. I think in particular, Extinction Event here is really good to name Even because the only actual creature that we have on Even is Deep Cavern Bat. The Copters don't count because we don't have to crew them, and then all of our other relevant creatures are odds until we get to 4 mana Shieldreds. So if we have matchups where we need to name Even as a cost, then that is going to work out a lot better. We have the Invoke Despairs for, again, the go long grindy matchups. We've got Unlicensed Hearse as graveyard hate. We've got Damping Spheres for Stormish decks and anything that's relevant there, Lotus Field, that kind of thing. Knight of Dusk Shadow, because you got to beat Amalia. And then Ray of Enfeeblement for any white aggro decks. So Amalia, Humans, Greasefang, etc. Some other things to note, Shieldred's trigger works really well with Gix, obviously, where it's sort of negating the damage here. So lose 1 but gain 2, so net 1 life when you have Gix plus Shieldred. It also combines with Copter. Looting will gain you life off of the Shieldred. And then the Fairy Dream Thieves can also maybe sometimes be used from the graveyard. You can also loot them into the graveyard with Smuggler's Copter, and then exile and draw a card, which will also work with Shieldred, obviously. And that is pretty much the sum of the deck. I saw a few mono black decks on Arena pre-list, but I feel like I saw more of it post-list. I haven't had too much trouble against it playing a Gruul Dino Tribal Aggro mid-range list, for whatever that's worth, but I'm hardly at a highly competitive level of play either. Round 1, we're on the draw. All right, this hand's pretty good. We've got Thoughtseize into Deep Cavern Bat, and then we just need to draw 1 black source for Gix / Graveyard Trespasser. Seems good. We're also playing against a Yorion deck, which means it's most likely control. Yeah, all right. Glacial Fortress, it's control. We drew Fatal Push, which is one of the worst draws we could have had against control. All right, so let's Thoughtseize them. Temp Lockdown, Verdict, counter, Deluge. All right, so, ooh, their other land is Castle, so this is actually going to be tapped out as well. So, man, all right, so if I take, so next turn, so they're going to play Castle, pass, and then I'm going to untap, play Vault, Deep Cavern, Bat. So the problem is if I don't take Temp Lockdown, then anything else I take, they just Temp Lockdown, and then the Bat gives it back to them. So I'm probably better off, I guess I'm probably better off taking Make Disappear and hoping they just brick. Well, I'm taking one thing now, right? So I guess let's take Make Disappear so we can definitely resolve the next spell, and then we'll reevaluate on the Bat next turn. All right, so let's take Make Disappear. Yeah, there's the castle. We drew another Mutavault. Yikes. All right, so Deep Cavern, Bat. The card they drew was another Deluge. All right, so if they draw an untapped white mana, then they just lock down, and then the Bat gives them back whatever they took. So I guess I'm just taking Lockdown and just trying to get through and fight through the Verdict later. All right, so let's take the Lockdown. Back to them. All right, they missed their land drop. Another Mutavault. Jeez. Yeah, it would have been great to play Gix here, but unfortunately we cannot. So let's just swing with the Bat. All right, Bat gets through. We'll play Graveyard Trespasser. So take Make Disappear. All right, Restless Anchorage. So they're one away from Verdict, and this flipped over. All right, so Mutavault. So this is the, which one's the Sick Vault? It's this one. All right, so let's just animate both the vaults here, because if they just untap and Verdict, I don't want to commit another Graveyard Trespasser to the board. So animate the vault, and then animate this vault. Then we will go to combat, attack, and then this I'll just not pick anything. Although my own graveyard doesn't really matter either, but whatever. All right, so they just missed their land, and then they're not going to be able to interact. Okay, so it's control, so I want Go Blank, I want Duress, and probably Invoke Despair, and then I don't want Fatal Push. So all of those come out, all of these come in. Is there any argument for changing anything else? I probably do still need some removal to kill like big shark tokens or try to tap down Dream Trawler. But other than that, this is probably fine. No lands as a mult. All right, this is good. Keep this, and then I am just going to chuck back the removal spell, though. All right, so they just played Restless Anchorage, so let's just play a Swamp and pass. I should probably delay playing Castle until I have to, just because Field of Ruin exists. All right, well, let's try to resolve Copter. No, it's getting countered. All right, land number 3 into Chrome Host. All right, well, it's not going to get better than casting Go Blank here, so I should play Mutavault, whatever. All right, Go Blank. What are they exiling? They got rid of Hallowed Moonlight and Shark Typhoon. All right, we take 2 from the Shark. All right, Mutavault. We don't have anything to do but play Gix, so let's play Gix. And we're getting countered. Yep. Well, back to them. Omen of the Sea make another Incubator token. They did 1 top, 1 bottom on the scry. Didn't bother to put Yorion in their hand, so they got something. Man, we're just drawing just non-stop lands, eh? All right, well, it's not going to get any better than castling now, so let's castle, even though we take a bunch of damage off of it. Well, Thoughtseize. We're just going to lose this. Thoughtseize them. We're just going to be dead on board here to these Incubators plus the Shark. Memory Deluge in response. So they can flip this next turn and flip this, and then we're going to be too far behind. Yeah, all right. So they do have Dream Trawler. I mean, this still seems correct to me. Let's just run it back. This is, though, one of the matchups, like the highly interactive matchups are the ones where the cards like the Fairy Dream Thief and the Deep Cavern Bat suck. Because the Bat can never actually get rid of anything forever because they're just going to have tons of removal, and that these cards are really bad alone against a deck like Control, where you just need to have all of your threats matter. All right, so we get the play for game 3. Man, we only have 1 land. I guess I can technically maybe surveil into another land with the Dream Thief, and we do have a lot of 1-drops, but it also could just be way too slow, especially against Temp Lockdown. I don't know. So what if I just don't find another land, right? I go land, champ, pass. They play land, pass back. I don't draw another land, right? Or I go land, Dream Thief, pass, and then try to find land, pass. And then we have Thoughtseize / Bloodsoaked Champion. I'm going to keep. All right, let's play Dream Thief. It's Duress. Man, yeah, okay. I have to bottom anything that's not a land, or bin anything that's not a land. Tap land, back to us. All right, we drew a land. Play this, and then we're just going to run out probably the Bat, actually. I just need to make sure that I'm taking stuff in their hand. Actually, you know what? No, let's not play the Bat. Let's play... I'm just thinking about curve here. If we draw another land, I guess it doesn't matter. I need to get more damage on the board, too. All right, let's Thoughtseize them. I'm definitely playing a Thoughtseize effect this turn. So they have Absorb, Absorb, Omen, Wandering Emperor. All right, well, let's just take Omen. I'm going to try to deprive them of their ability to interact with us. Let's play Blood-Soaked, Combat, attack with the Thief. So my plan is get all of my creatures underneath Absorb and then just kill them. Hallowed Fountain tapped back to us. Ooh, land number 3. All right. I don't really want to take what they have right now unless they drew Lockdown, but I can't take stuff based on maybe they drew a thing. So let's get Graveyard Trespasser in here. I guess, okay, so next turn they get to have Absorb up, right? So if they absorb a Deep Cavern Bat or a Blood-Soaked Champion, that's fine. So yeah, let's just get Graveyard Trespasser out, target this thing, then Combat, Swing. All right, they actually don't have Absorb open with Field of Ruin. Irrigated Farmland, all right, they probably still don't have anything, so I drew Urborg, that's fine. There's nothing they can ambush me with, so let's just go to a combat and attack. Trigger, this doesn't do anything, so they take another hit. All right, let's play the Cavern Bat in case they have like Verdict or something. So Deep Cavern Bat. Also play the land out first in case they drew Make Disappear. All right, what you got? Dream Trawler, Absorb, Absorb, Shark Typhoon, Wandering Emperor. So they get to play Wandering Emperor next turn, so let's just take that. And then their only move is cycling Shark Typhoon. Yeah, all right, so take the Emperor. And then if I play Blood-Soaked Champion, this will flip back, but they're probably not doing anything on their turn anyway, so let's just play it. Or they just cycle the Shark now to try to draw into something. So the only out they have is Verdict, I think. Plays Field. Oh, they drew Verdict. Oh, well. All right, Graveyard Trespasser. Eat one of my own guys, right? Eat Deep Bat. And over to them. All right, they're one away from Dream Trawler, and they can also cast Absorb now. Do these guys come directly back into play? Oh, they have the Emperor back because the Bat died. So if I attack, they just Emperor. Man, that's rough. I guess if they target it, they do have to discard a card, so it's not like a complete loss on my side, but... And then I get to bring both Blood-Soakeds back. All right, yeah, so let's go ahead and... I only have one creature I can exile from my yard that I actually want to exile. Well, it's not going to get any better not attacking, so let's attack. So Swing, Trigger, Eating, Graveyard Trespasser, and one of their spells. So then here comes Emperor. Uh-huh. They do have to discard if they want to target this. Uh-huh. So Ward Trigger, discards Make Disappear. All right, so then this gets exiled. They go to 9, and then we get to bring back both the Blood-Soaked Champions. All right, so if they draw the land for Dream Trawler, it's over. All right, they did not draw the land for Dream Trawler. Another Verdict, and then they can plus this instead of making a Samurai. Yeah. Another Graveyard Trespasser, you say. All right, Graveyard Trespasser. I don't actually have any of my creatures that I want to target again, but that's fine. Graveyard Trespasser. Ooh, it comes in as Knight, too. Get rid of these. We kind of have to play stuff. Like, I can't not play things because of Knight. Copter on top. How good is that? It's not really that good in this situation, especially if they're going to draw Dream Trawler. All right, let's bin that. So back to them. It's daytime. We kind of just need to find like Gix or Shieldred or something. And they still have double Absorb in their hand, which is really a problem. Shark Typhoon make a 3/3. All right, they found their sixth land, and then they pump the Shark so that we can't attack. Although technically they didn't play a spell, right? So this flips back. Gix, you say. Oh man, so the problem is like I attack, they trade here, and then the Wandering Emperor just exiles something. Also Dream Trawler comes out next turn. I guess I have to try to draw cards, right? So play Gix and then just attack them. And then I at least get one. If they block here, I at least get a draw. If they block here, I at least get a draw. All right, Gix, go to combat, attack them. This thing triggers. I don't really care. It's fine. Get rid of 2 things from your graveyard. So they either get a free block on the Thief or they trade here. But either way, we get to draw. All right, they're blocking the Thief. That's fine. Gix triggers. So draw a card. A Blood-Soaked Champion, you say. Well, let's play that. This flips back. And now they can Wandering Emperor this and still have to discard. And then they have Dream Trawler, and then we can't attack the Dream Trawler anymore. Wandering Emperor make a token, not even exiling. All right. And here's Dream Trawler, and now we're just dead because we can't attack into it anymore. Deep Cavern Bat, we can take an Absorb. That sucks. That doesn't help at all. All right, exile Dream Thief from the graveyard. Drawing a Thoughtseize. All right, I guess I'm Thoughtseizing them. Thoughtseize you. Chrome Host, double Absorb. All right, take one of the Absorbs. And we have no attacks. Go. They drew a land, then the Dream Trawler gets to attack, drawing them another card, gaining them a bunch of life. And I'm pretty sure there's no way we can win at this point, because I'm behind on the board, they're drawing an extra card every turn, and anything that I play of any relevance is going to get absorbed. I guess the Bat is going to get absorbed, so if I draw Shieldred after the Bat, I could maybe climb my way out of this, but it doesn't look good. A land. All right. This is actually lethal in the air, right? This is 5, 9, 11. So the bat has to resolve, which it won't because they're just going to absorb it, and then we're dead. Yep, all right, we're dead. On the play for round 2, double Thoughtseize. We're once again in a position, though, of only having 1 land, but we do have double Thoughtseize on the play. All right, I'll keep. So we can shred our opponent's hand, and then if we find lands within the first, 3 turns, we can start developing. Thoughtseize you. Beanstalk, Bone Crusher, 4 land. All right, well, I guess let's take Beanstalk. Back to them. Plays a Stomping Ground. All right, Thoughtseize again. Kiora and Bone Crusher. I'll take Kiora. My thinking is because I'm land trapped at this point, the game's probably going to go pretty long, in which case I don't want them having card advantage. Also, we're not playing any creatures for them to stomp anyway at the moment, so they play a tapped Stomping Ground. All right. And then Adventurous Impulse, revealing a forest. All right. Still haven't drawn lands. I guess I'm Thoughtseizing the Bone Crusher out of their hand. All right. We're our Monoscrew versus their no cards. Castle Garenbrig. Back to us. All right, well, play Bloodsoaked Champion. They play a forest. 4 mana for a Voracious Hydra on X's 2 fighting our guy. All right. We can at least push that. Fairy Dream Thief, you say. This isn't even that threatening, right? I guess I'm going to play this Dream Thief and then just try to find lands. Yeah, bin that. I think it's a little crazy that we haven't found a second land by now. But on the plus side, we did manage to turn our graveyard into a full house. All right, bunch of mana into Vorinclex. Yikes. So it's just Gruul ramp. All right. Well, we're kind of way behind on the board. So need to draw a land for Vorinclex so we can kill this. Finally, we drew a land. All right, Heartless Act, destroy creature, kill this thing. And I'm not blocking this, so let's attack them. And we take another 2 from the Hydra, go to 10. Elder Gargaroth. Well, we're dead. We are extremely dead. I know their hand is 2 lands, so this doesn't even help. I guess I can push this thing, but then the Gargaroth's just going to take the game over. Yep. How many cards did we go through until we found land number 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Surveil, 6. All right. I assume they're playing elves and we just didn't see them, but maybe they're not. So Fatal Push just seems not great. Invoke Despair. Probably need Extinction Event in this matchup. So let's go with that. And then I didn't see a single Mana Dork. I'm going to keep, what, 1 push in? They just showed us Voracious Hydra was the only thing we could actually push. Go Blanc is probably actually good against them. Let's bring that in. I'm going to cut the pushes until I see more things that I can actually kill on their side. And what's the last worst card in our hand, or in our deck? Probably the Bat. Or maybe it's Trespasser, since all their creatures are really big and they don't have that much removal, seemingly. All right, let's cut a Trespasser. All right, this hand will do. Land go. So the plan is to bat them and then hopefully get another land for Gix. Actually, Copter's better on this turn. All right, so play Copter, then back to them. All right, well, we didn't draw another land, so Deep Cavern Bat, trigger. Then they have Stomp in response, right? Yeah, all right, Stomp in response, crew the Copter in response. Then Stomp resolves killing the Bat. We at least get to see their hand. So their hand is Bone Crusher, Pelucranos, Titan of Industry. Yikes. All right, well, go to combat, attack with the Copter. All right, discard one of the 2 Gixes. We don't need both. So hit them, play this. They are a turn off of casting Pelucranos because they have this on red, but they can cast Bone Crusher this turn. Yeah, all right, there's the Bone Crusher. It's also kind of awkward that all their guys are odd mana values. All right, well, we can play Shieldred, crew the Copter, go to combat, attack, trigger the Copter. I don't need Mutavault, ditch that, gain life, and then it's over to their turn, then the Shieldred hits them. So they don't have a way of getting Shieldred off the board right now. All right, Pelucranos, then attack with the Bone Crusher. They'll never win the race, though, but we can't attack into this with the Copter, so we Heartless Act it on our turn. I can also Extinction Event name Odd kill both of these. Yeah, that's actually better. Or is it better to go Gix kill this? Yeah, because I'm probably going to want to Extinction Event at some point, and if I play Gix first, Gix is going to die. So let's just Extinction Event. I guess I shouldn't have played that land because I'm going to loot, and I would have probably lost the land. All right, name Odd. Get rid of these. Crew the Copter. Go to combat. Attack. Then loot. All right. Thoughtseize is better than whatever else I'm doing, so I'm going to get rid of Gix. And then Thoughtseize them. All right, 100% taking... I guess no, if they play Elder Gargaroth, they have to tap their whole turn to do it. They are 2 turns away from Tightening. So they play Elder Gargaroth, and then I just Heartless Act that. But then I don't know that I can kill them before they get Tightened down. What's my damage rate here? They go to 7 next turn off of Shieldred. Then anything they play, I'm just going to be able to attack them, right? So they go to 7, then I attack them, they go to 3, and then they're at 1 next turn. So I just need to prevent them from ever gaining life. So let's just take Titan. All right. So Shieldred puts them to 7, and then I assume they'll just tap out for Gargaroth this turn, and then we kill it and keep hitting them. So Heartless Act, blow this up. Let's actually crew Copter. So let's do this, and then let's activate Castle. Ooh, Invoke Despair is great. Yeah, let's just hit them with Shieldred then, because I'm not looting this away. So, I mean, I could loot whatever the other card is away, but there's no real point in looting if I have the card I want already. So they go to 1, and then even if they can get Shieldred off the board, we've got Invoke. Adventurous Impulse. All right, sideboarding. That seemed fine. Let's just do that again. Yeah, Fatal Pushes are terrible, so let's not bother with that. I mean, this is a decent curve. Bat or Copter into Gix. Keep it. Have you tried Stalactite Stalker? I think that card doesn't work in a format without fetch lands. You really, really need fetch lands for that card to be good. They impulsed for Garenbrig. All right, Hive go. Plays a Forest. So this is almost certainly well, I was going to say it's representing Bone Crusher mana, but I guess it isn't. All right, Mutavault into... We probably need to keep them from playing whatever their next card is, so let's just bat. All right, what's in their hand? A bunch of stuff. Oof. All right, so Kiora I can just attack, although not that well. Actually, Kiora's really nuts with double Wolfhaven. I probably just have to take that, right? They're 1 short of castling into Vorinclex next turn, so I have 1 turn to draw answers. So yeah, let's take Kiora. So there's Garenbrig, and then all they can do is just play another Wolf Willow, probably. They play the other Wolf Willow. All right, time to start drawing some cards with Gix. Attack with the bat. So damage, draw a card, over to them. I don't have that actual many like hard removal spells in the deck, so we're about to get Vorinclex here. And Vorinclex also has reach. Oh, they can actually play Titan? Oh yeah, they can play Titan. So this also has reach. Make a 4/4, put a shield counter on presumably itself. All right, so no attacks with this dude anymore. All right, I can at least Thoughtseize the Vorinclex out of their hand, so let's do that. So Thoughtseize you. Oh my god, they have another Titan? Jesus. All right, we'll take that. Oh my god. All right, well, we can't win anymore. I would have to draw unbelievably well to get out of this. So let's see. Castle. I guess Graveyard Trespasser. Play this. Target Titan. All right, back to them. So this thing can crash into us, and then it's not even a problem because Vorinclex is another blocker. How much is Gixel? It's 7. So we're many turns away from that. Plays Vorinclex. Plays another Forest. Off the Forest they just grabbed. So their hand is Forest and 1 unknown card. I mean, if I were them, I'd attack with Titan, right? It just puts a clock on us. We can't really attack into this Vorinclex or this 4/4 Rhino. No, they're just not attacking. All right, well, in that case, how do I win this game? I can potentially find Heartless Act to kill Vorinclex, but I can't get rid of this. So the best bet is probably to find Shieldred and try to win the race there. How much mana do they have right now? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It costs how much to flip this? 8. Yikes. So they can flip this next turn. Castling takes all my mana except 1, so I probably wouldn't even have anything to do if I castle, although I just need to castle anyway. I can also Takenuma for 3 mana, but that seems worse than just drawing a card. So I need to find Extinction Event to get rid of these things. All right, if that's how I'm going to win... So yeah, I just need to activate the castle. So... And I'm not going to play Thoughtseize if I draw it. I guess I would play a 1-drop if I drew it. I take 5 damage if I castle here. That seems so bad. They've shown a reluctance to attack me. So what if I just play both Copters? Or what if I play 1 Copter and then Takenuma? And then like channel Takenuma. Also, the Copters do allow me to loot on blocks, so I can potentially block if they attack. The Takenuma is just like a Hail Mary into a Shieldred or something. All right, let's just play both Copters. Back to them. I assume they'll flip this Vorinclex over, right? It's mill 10, reanimate 2 creatures out of the milled cards, and then they buff their guys a ton. They are attacking with Vorinclex. They can't activate this at instant speed, right? No, they can't. All right, so it's a 6/6. All right, crew the Copter, and then use Gix to crew the other Copter, and declare blocks here and here, I guess. Trigger. All right, resolve the first loot. Get rid of... I mean, I need lands more than I need a second Gix, so get rid of the second Gix. Then resolve the second loot. Get rid of Thoughtseize at this point is not good. All right, well, we traded with Vorinclex. Does that mean they just have another Vorinclex? That's the only reasoning I can see for them just attacking there instead of flipping this. Elder Gargaroth. Well, their reluctance to attack me is kind of coming in handy here. Although this thing is going to attack next turn anyway. Another land. Yikes. All right. Play land. If they attack with this, I can double block with Trespasser and Gix, but then I don't have a Gix in play anymore. If I animate the Hive, I double block, but then I'm down a land. I just need to castle here, I think. Draw, Copter. All right, play Copter. And back to them. Swings with Elder Gargaroth, choosing to make a 3/3. All right, so they didn't have Boseiju last turn, so I think they probably just don't have it this turn either. Wait, what? Oh, they drew a card. Crew, and block here and here. And try to trade. So Looter, Scooter, trigger, resolve this, discard a land. All right, we traded for Elder Gargaroth. They play another castle. I can't believe they're not attacking us with Titan. Oh, we drew Shieldred? Okay. So land, Shieldred, and then I should just hold on to Takenuma. And if they attack here, block and then get it back. All right, so they can no longer just sit around doing nothing every turn because the Shieldred will kill them. Actually, if they attack, I don't even think I block anymore. Kiora. Sacks Wolfwillow Haven to make a wolf. Okay, so they just don't have anything. All right, I can channel Takenuma because it doesn't change the amount of cards in my hand anyway. So channel Takenuma, get back, I guess, Graveyard Trespasser. So then draw. So this is based on how many cards you discard. So I want more cards to discard before I use it. We're not in danger of dying right now. So how many times can I activate the castle? I can only activate one castle unless I draw another land, right? It's actually cheaper to ferry Dream Thief here. So let's Dream Thief. So Dream Thief, we lose one, but then we gain two. Another ferry. I'm not going to play that. Would I play a land if I drew it? No, I wouldn't. So let's just pass back to them. I'm going to pass back to them, and then I'm going to castle during their turn, and then draw, and then ditch all my cards to Gix. All right, they drew a land, so they got nothing going on. I still can't believe they're not just slamming Titan into us. Like, it even has a shield counter. Make a wolf. Uh-huh. All right, castle end of turn. So we drew Deep Cavern, draw for turn, Shieldred. All right, none of these cards help right here, so let's activate Gix. So target them, pay all the mana, discard all my cards. Gix. All right, play lands and cast spells. Yeah, I guess I'll play castle, I don't know. Copperline Gorge? The castle's irrelevant, right? All right, so Copperline Gorge, Adventurous Impulse, Oath of Nissa, Titan. All right, so we're done. So resolve the Titan. I don't know what I'm choosing. I'm probably just going shield plus. Yeah, so let's go with shield counter. 4/4 shield counter. All right, so 4/4 shield counter. We're going to put the shield on Shieldred. So shield up Shieldred, then Oath triggers, grab Graveyard Trespasser, then that's fine. Then Impulse resolve. Let's grab Blood Soaked. All right, I don't have any incentive to attack, so let's just pass back to them. I even drew 2 cards off of that so I can Gix them again next turn. They're at 10. They play Oath of Nissa. What do they find? Are we playing Nykthos in this list? No. You usually don't have enough for Nykthos to be relevant. They just found a land. Wow, they're just really bricking hard, eh? They should have just been attacking us with the Titan from the moment they had the opportunity to. I don't know why they didn't. All right, we have 3 cards in hand. Let's just Gix them again. Gix, target you. Discard all of my cards. Top 3. All right, Voracious Hydra, which I can cast for 0. All right, well, this, if I stomp, it's my stomp, right? Stomp on them and cast Voracious Hydra as a 0/1. All right, so then double the number of no counters on it. Aha! Stomp you. And then I have this. Let's hit them with Titan. Attack them with Titan. And Shieldred? Because Shieldred survives anyway? Yeah? Alright, attack. So, chump Shieldred, block here, we lose Titan, that's fine. And then we can grab Blood Soaked out of our graveyard. Back to them. Alright, well, they're at 6. Why is their Titan dead? Shouldn't it still be alive? Theirs had a shield counter and it blocked ours, right? Shouldn't it still be alive? I don't know what happened there. Alright, so Pelucranos, draw a card. Kiora hurts them because Shieldred triggers. Also, why is my shield counter gone when they just blocked with a single wolf? Well, anyway, regardless of why the shield counters are not functioning properly, this is the current board state, and so all we literally have to do is just pass back to them and they're dead. Shield eats damage, it doesn't apply, so it's not just indestructible, it's just any amount of damage. I clearly do not know how shield counters work. Alright, well, I mean, I literally just have to pass the turn back to them, so let's just pass. It's just any amount of damage. Huh. Well, shouldn't their guy still be alive anyway, though, then? If it prevents the damage, shouldn't their Titan be alive? Are shield counters bugged on Moto? I don't know. Regardless, that is the end of that game. Shield counters provide 2 benefits. First, if a permanent with a shield counter on it would be destroyed by an effect, a shield counter is removed from the permanent instead of the creature being destroyed. If a permanent with a shield counter on it would be dealt damage, the damage is prevented and the shield counter is removed. Yeah, I'm gonna say it didn't work correctly. I don't see any reason why their Titan wouldn't still be alive. It's the stomp. Oh, right, I stomped them, so it made the damage unpreventable, so they still died. All right, we figured it out. Thanks, chat. The hidden text of Stomp. This hand's a little awkward, especially on the draw, but I mean, it's fine. We'll keep Blooming Marsh into Cenote Scout, so it is Amalia. All right, we drew a removal spell. Back to them. Stomp damage on prevention was in one of your vids talking about dumb extra text. Yeah, exactly. They add all of this like extra text to cards that rarely comes up, but when it does come up, it's like, why? I mean, is the bat the best play here? I guess. All right, let's play the bat. What you got? There's Amalia, but they also have Cord and Coke. Okay, I was trying to read that. I don't know why the revealed card zone is gone now. Alrighty then. Well, oh, all right. What's in their hand? Cord and Amalia and 2 lands. No attacks. All right, well, we got to kill Amalia right now. Man, they can Cord for the freaking savior, though. God, that's awful. All right, so I cannot Heartless Act this until they tap out. Actually, wait, no, they don't have a source of life gain, right? So I go kill this. They go in response, Cord for the 1/1 that saves it. Man, that's just miserable. All right, well, I mean, I guess I can hit them, right? All right, attack with the bat. All right, go. For the record, I would have taken Coco if I had been given the option. Prosperous Innkeeper. All right, we got to respond to this by targeting Amalia. So target Amalia. So this forces them to Cord now, which means they don't get the ETB life gain trigger off of Prosperous Innkeeper. So Cord equals 1. Cenote. Oh, right. Well, at least we still kill Amalia, right? So sure. They still do their combo, but we kill Amalia. I thought for sure they would grab the Selfless Savior. All right, a bunch of this stuff happens. I believe they're just floating Coco on top of their deck now for next turn. So they drew Confluence Beseiju, and they just floating Coco on top of their deck. So they're going to gain 1,000,000 life. Everything's going to die, including our bat, which puts Coco back in their hand. So they're going to have double Coco with this. Yeah, they're going to have double Coco, but no creatures in play. But we're also going to have no creatures in play. So I guess the best move is probably just drop Shieldred and then try to win through the double Cocos that they're about to hit us with. Remember, Karn needed to go. I will never not stop reminding people of that. All right, so pay the ward. Then this thing dies. Wait, what? Why is this not dead? Oh, because it gets counters on it. Amazing. Oh, we're just dead here. Okay, cool. Brilliant. Wonderful game. All right, Extinction Event, Night of Dusk, blah, blah, blue, Ray. What's bad? I guess this. Although we can use these to blow up what? Skyclave? Like, I don't care about that. That's fine. What else is bad? Graveyard Trespasser is okay, because they do have Return to the Ranks and Extraction Specialist. Shieldred, typically not that great. These guys seem atrocious. Let's cut all this. Oddly enough, I don't know that I care about Hearse that much or Go Blank that much. On the other hand, the Fairy Dream Thieves are kind of bad. All right, let's cut 2 of these so we can play 1 Hearse and 1 Go Blank. All right, double Thoughtseize it is. What you got, opponent? Coco, Amalia, Lunarch Veteran. All right, well, let's just... Oh, sorry, Court of Calling's one of those. We're just going to take those and then, I guess, push Amalia. All right, take that. Over to them. Razor Verge, Lunarch. All right, Thoughtseize. So let's take Cord, and then when they play Amalia, we'll push it. Temple Garden, tapped. Well, they're just not bothering with Amalia. Shaper's Sanctuary, you say. All right, kill this now, I guess. They can just bring it back. It's fine, whatever. Kill this now. Okay, Vault, Gix, go ahead. Mana Confluence, plays a Goose, plays Amalia. All right, go to combat. Attack with Gix. Trigger, draw. Extinction Event, you say. I think it's probably correct to play that now, as strange as that is. Yeah, let's just get that off the table. Name, even. Goodbye, Amalia. Back to them. I don't want to wait, because there's always the potential that they can, like, do something stupid if they untap. Like, they can just Coco, like, just draw Coco off the top and go off. All right. Luminous Phantom returns. They play Takenuma. All right. Let's animate Mutavault. Go to combat. Attack. No blocks. We get to double draw. Draw and draw. All right. Let's get Graveyard Trespasser down. Trespasser. Target. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That thing. Opponent pops the food. No? Yeah? I mean, they're just gaining 2 life here, right? No, makes a food. Okay. Tap land. They've got 1 card I don't know about. All right. Well, I'm not going to play around Coco. So go to combat. Attack. Trespasser trigger. Eat this, and that's it. I guess I don't use any of my own spells, so on the off chance they have Deathrite Shaman, it's technically correct to exile my own spells. Pops of food. All right. We got him on the ropes, boys. Blocking Graveyard Trespass. No. Blocking Graveyard Trespasser. Before damage, food. So damage, all this stuff triggers. Yeah, we just deal to that. Draw a card. Draw a card. All right. Well, we're playing 2 Copters. Back to them. I'm also at 7 mana, so I can actually Gix them. That sounds pretty good. Gix you. Oh, no, I'm 1 short. All right. Play a land. Gix you. Discard all of this garbage. Haha, show me the top 3. Not that the actual vacuum card quality in their deck is that good to begin with, but, you know, let's try this. They finally drew Coco. Yeah, there's a Coco in response. All right, Coco, what do we hit? I'm not really sure what the point of doing that in response is, but it's fine. All right, triggers. This stuff all triggers. All right, yield to that. They make a treasure. They gain some life. They make a map. All right, resolve Gix. All right, so I can return for 0. I can Innkeeper. All right, so it's the order I cast this in, right? So cast this, and then there's no reason to cast return to ranks for 0, so let's just leave that exiled. So done, then this enters the field. We make a treasure, then Amalia enters the field. Aha, I gain some life and get to explore off of Amalia. How do you like it? Knight of Dusk's Shadow is on the top? Leave that there, sir. Oh, that means I don't want to loot with these Copters, though. I guess I just attack with the Trespasser, question mark? I'm fine trading it with Sentinel plus Innkeeper. All right, so attacks. Attack with the Graveyard Glutton, exiling these things, draining them for 2 and gaining more life, allowing us to explore again. Chump block with the Innkeeper. All right, Innkeeper die, and then they get a trigger off that thing. All right, it's their turn. Maps into Amalia on the top, puts it in the graveyard. Sick mono black Amalia deck? I know. Return to the ranks, Innkeeper plus Amalia, so they get the things. Explores Court of Calling to the top. All right, they kept it. Plays a goose. Trigger stuff again. All right, so they make a food, they gain a life, they explore, the thing becomes a 4/4. I assume they leave Court on top of their deck. Will they attack with the Sentinel? Yes, they will. All right, so let's block with the Copters. The fact that they have Court on top of their deck means that, like, the Knight is worse than it would be, but I guess it's still good. So let's crew the Copter. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Let's crew the other Copter. I guess they can technically Court... Oh, man. They can Court now, right? So they can just go grab the Wild Growth and blow the board up, right? So I guess I shouldn't be crewing these Copters, actually. All right, block, and they can Court. They have 3 green creatures and 2 guys, and a treasure. Oh, wait, no, they don't have Court, right? They have it on top of their deck. Yeah, so a block here, that's fine. All right, if you want to kill my Amalia, I'm good with that. I guess if they have Court on top of their deck, I can just draw and then eat the Court out of their deck, right? So trigger, don't loot. All right, so that dies, our guy dies, the Luminous Phantom triggers, they make Amalia bigger, then Court's still on top of their deck. So the only flying creatures they have are this guy and this guy, so I get to double attack with the Copters to draw some cards. All right, so Knight, and we gain some life. So I have 5, 6 mana. All right, so let's crew a Copter and crew a Copter. I guess it's technically correct for me to loot because I have stuff that interacts from my graveyard. So let's go to combat, attack with these. I could also castle before the loot, but it costs me what? Then I'd have I'd have 2 open, and then it's only relevant if I draw Fatal Push or something. All right, swing. So loot, discard Takenuma, loot, discard a Swamp. Pretty good loots there. Will they block? No, they won't. All right, double Gix triggers. So draw, we drew Trespasser, draw a Swamp. All right, I can get the Court off the top of their deck. That feels like a good move. More than just Trespasser. Yeah, let's just get the Court off the top of their deck. So pay all of this. Treasure, ditch this dude. Get out of here, Cord. And then we're not going to cast Cord for 0. So Cord is gone. Now we're back to them. Does Stonebrain and similar effects completely shut down Amalia, or does the deck have a plan B? It can just beat you down with, like, creatures, so it doesn't completely kill the deck. Map activation, revealing Razor Verge on top. All right, so they drew Razor Verge. They play Razor Verge. Plays a Lunarch Veteran, gain life. Amalia, oh, they don't gain life because of Knight. So Amalia is a 5/5 and cannot get any bigger, and they're out of cards, and their foods don't do anything either. We drew a Gix. All right, crew the Copter. Crew the other Copter. I guess I can technically pump this guy big enough that Amalia can't even block him profitably, but let's just tap this dude. Combat! Attack with the Copters! Trigger. Loot. Discard Gix. Loot. Discard a bat. Chump blocks with the Luminous Phantom and the Gilded Goose. All right. Death. Oh, makes a food, I guess. Makes a food. Then this triggers, but they don't gain any life. All right. Let's castle. Activate. If we drew Shieldred, it would be a fantastic draw. That's why I'm castling. All right, we didn't. So let's just pass back to them. Then this guy flips over. So we've got double drains with this dude. All right. We got it. On to game 3. Let's see. I mean, this feels fine. Yeah, let's keep this. Man, we almost stole the whole combo out of their deck. All right, turn 1 removal, turn 2 knight. Looking good. Keep the hand. Temple Garden. Into a Lunarch Veteran. All right. Land pass. Plays a goose. That's fine. They make a food. They gain a life. I'm going to shoot this goose. Plays another Lunarch Veteran. They gain a life. Yeah, all right, shoot the goose. Keep them off of a Coco next turn. Is there any reason to play the knight now as opposed to playing Copter first and then the knight? They untap. They only have 3 mana. I guess they could go Innkeeper into Amalia, double gain. But I mean, that's like the only bad thing they could do. All right, let's play Copter. Over to them. They could also just play Amalia and double gain, but even that's not that bad. Selfless Savior. Dane's 2. All right, so they don't have Amalia, or else they would have played Amalia first. Wildgrowth Walker. All right. And they only have 1 card left. So we take 2, we go to 17. Extinction Event, you say? Well, we're definitely doing this. So Swamp, we're 100% playing Knight this turn. But I think I'm not going to attack with I'm not going to crew with the Knight. I'm going to crew with the Fairy Dream Thief. So play Dream Thief. Trigger, Surveil, Hive to the graveyard. Then crew this. Go to combat. Attack with Copter. Trigger Copter. Loot, discard a land. All right, now they have no good attacks and they can't gain any life. No, it's the Skyclave Apparition that they had in their hand. All right, I guess I'm going Extinction Event on Odd and cleaning up everything except Wildgrowth Walker now and eating our own Dream Thief. All right. Ooh, a Gix, you say? Well, we're doing that next turn. So, crew here, combat, swing, loot, discard a land. All right, Extinction Event, name Odd. They should crack the Selfless in response, yeah. So, resolve this, name Odd. We get an Illusion. And then they just have Wildgrowth Walker in play with 2 unknown cards. Tap land, no attacks. All right. Another Copter, you say. Well, we're going to play this. We're going to play Gix. And then I'm not attacking with this guy, so I guess crew the Copter. I guess technically I could animate this and then attack with both of these. I feel like I want the mana for this leftover, though. Yeah, that's fine. So let's just crew with the Illusion. Go to combat. Attack, loot trigger, loot. Definitely keeping Knight, so bin the other Copter. All right, trigger Gix. We draw. Shieldred is an excellent draw. All right, play the Knight. So they gain life off the food in response, but they can't combo anymore. They can't trigger Amalia anymore. And then we've got Shieldred to follow this up. I also always have to be wary about attacking into this because they can always have Coco open and they can always have Cord for Cenote Scout. So, all right, let's play Shieldred. Then crew the Copter with this. We've got Ray in our hand, so it's not actually bad to attack with everything here. Go to combat. Coco's in response. Okay. So presumably they can like hit Skyclave or like something that matters before hit Wildgrowth plus Amalia. All right. What's the worst that happens? They like dual block Knight. If they triple block Knight, then I kill Amalia and then we're still trading anyway. Let's just attack with everything. So trigger, loot. I'm still going to loot always because we can put Dream Thieves into our graveyard. All right, discard a land. Gain life with Shieldred. So where are they blocking, if at all? Block here, block here. They have to triple block if they want to stop this. I mean, I guess technically they don't lose either of their Wildgrowth Walkers. So before damage, let's Ray one of them so that we don't lose our Knight. And then we get to kill the one that we're Raying. All right, so that dies. We get 3 Gix triggers and gain a bunch of life off of Shieldred. I don't remember if I've played a land this turn or not. I guess I would Thoughtseize them if I haven't. All right, I haven't. Thoughtseize. What's your last card, sir? Cord, take that. All right, no life gain. We have a huge board. They're dying to Shieldred. Got it. We are on the play for round number 4. This hand looks great, so we'll keep this. Hive, go. Needle Verge Pathway into Kumano. All right, well, our Fatal Push doesn't do anything right now. So, Thoughtseize. It's probably better to play Copter. All right, play Copter. Back over to them. So, Sacred Foundry. Any creatures they play, we can just push. Knight of Grace. I guess we can't push it. Well, then. It also has first strike, so we can't even block it with the Copter. What's my best use of mana here? It's probably Deep Caverning, seeing what they have, and then either Thought Seizing them or pushing them. All right, so Deep Cavern, resolve this trigger. What's in their hand? Oh, it's this deck. All right, so we got to take Chain Whirler, right? Oh, and Path of Metal? We got to take both of these? Okay, so we'll take this, and then we will Thought Seize the other one out of their hand. So take Path of Metal, and then I'm not going to block this with Copter, but I would block Kamano / Tajik, but I guess it's fine. So let's crew the Copter. I do want to filter my hand, so let's go to combat, attack, trigger, loot, discarding. I would like to be able to play Graveyard plus push next turn, so let's discard the other Copter. Although I can't if they play Thalia. What the hell is this deck? What, you're not familiar with First Strike Tribal into Path of Metal? All right, there's Thalia. So then we take 6 here, we go to 11. All right, so Graveyard Trespasser. Am I crewing this Copter? I don't think I am anymore. Man, I just cannot block this thing. I guess I can double block it, right? It gets even bigger if I play Trespasser, and that's fine. I guess I'm double blocking this guy. So Graveyard Trespasser, eat this thing. Yeah, we gotta block Knight, so back to them. All right, they found their third land. What does Tajik say exactly? Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Non-combat. Oh, and then they're going to Mentor Thalia. Ugh. All right, well, I'm blocking with Copter, so let's crew the Copter. Then, so I have to double block any of these to kill them. All right, so if we get Thalia off the field, I can then push Tajik out of the way, at least. So block here, block here. All right, so block like that. We get a loot trigger. So loot, discarding. Oh, man. All right, discard Swamp. Go to damage, so first strike, and then regular damage, Thalia dies, and then post-combat, fatal push the Tajik. And we drew another land. Wow, we're just drawing trash. Okay, so what if I do nothing, right? Then this attacks, and I basically can't block it. I guess I can animate Hive, right? So I can double block it, question mark? Yeah, all right, back to them. They drew Chain Whirler. Oh my god, really? And I have to crew the Copter ahead of time, so then I'll have 5 total toughness. Okay, and then this goes away, so they get another Chain Whirler. I have to crew Copter. There's no way around it. So crew Copter, and then that resolves, kills this guy. They get another Chain Whirler into their hand, and then they swing. No, just here. Why not attack with this? I'm forced to double block here, and then I just lose the Chain Whirler, right? Yeah. So animate. I mean, I literally have to chump block this. I guess I can technically draw Fatal Push off the loot trigger. So block, block. I can't afford to take any damage here, right? Yeah. So loot trigger, yes. Holy crap, how are we not drawing not lands at this point? Copter dies, this dies, and we drew a Bloodsoaked Champion. All right, well, our draws have been absolutely abysmal. So let's see. They do have some white creatures, so Ray, Extinction Event. I guess that's it. Man, they have Chain Whirler and Path of Metal in our deck. We have so many X1 creatures. Okay, so the Bloodsoaked Champions are awful. We can't even block with them. I'm actually inclined to cut like a ton of our X1 creatures, like absolutely a ton of them, because we just can't, we can't ever afford to use them. So that being the case, even though they're a Thalia deck, I guess I'm going to bring in, I guess I'm going to bring in all these Knights, because they at least don't die to Chain Whirler. And what else? So all the Dream Thieves suck. All the Deep Cavern Bats kind of suck. There's just too much suck going on, right? I probably can't afford to cut all of this. And the Bats at least have lifelink. Let's bring in a Hearse, because it can maybe block stuff. Let's get rid of one of this, Hearse. I really don't feel like Invoke Despair is a good use of my mana, especially against Thalia. These are just so bad against their deck, though. They have 8 cards in their deck that ping everything for 1. All right, let's just play Invoke. And you know what? Let's get rid of this and play Go Blank. Submit. We've just transformed in the control deck. That's our plan. All right, 2 removal spells in graveyard. Keep. Hive, go. Needle Verge into Kamano. So Fatal Push does nothing right now. All right, Mutavault, go. Charmed Scoundrel enters as a 2/2 and then does something. Create a treasure. All right, a treasure has been created. Plays another Kamano. I mean, I'm going to kill this, so I guess I'm pushing it. All right, Kamano, take more damage. I'm doing that because I want to Heartless Act, potentially Chain Whirler. Like, they have creatures with first strike that I do need to kill. So let's play Graveyard Trespasser. Trigger, eat this dude. Then we gain some life, then it's back to them, and we've got a 3/3 that they can't just freely attack into with this thing. So this Kamano and land number 3 into Thalia Heretic, which also has first strike. All right, However, all their guys are odd mana values, so let's just go blank them this turn, and then probably set up for Extinction Event next turn. So go blank. What did I hit? Giant Killer, Robber of the Rich. All right, pass to them, and then this flips over. So then I'll just chump Thalia and then Extinction Event, eat their board. Yeah, block. All right, they got one card in their hand. Plays a Knight. All right, we can't target it anyway, so that's fine. So Extinction Event, we name Odd, kills 3 of their dudes, and then we actually can't get rid of this thing, so top deck Tajik. All right, so then they mentor here, and then this is a 3-power first striker, and we can't block it with anything. Smuggler's Copter. All right, All right, Copter. Yeah, this is awkward. All right, over to them. So the Copter can block and trade with the Tajik, or I can just shoot the Tajik. I'd probably just shoot the Tajik, right? Because I need to be able to double block this Knight at some point, somehow. All right, Heartless Act, destroy a creature with no counters on it, blow up Tajik. Tajik dies, then we take 3 and go to 10. All right, they just have a land. So then it's back to us. I do want to get this Thoughtseize out of my hand. Okay, so if they attack now, so I play land. If they attack now, I can animate Hive of the Eye Tyrant, but then I can't crew the Copter as well, so I'm still not in a position where I can actually block this thing. So that being the case, it's better to animate Mutavault, crew the Copter, attack, get rid of Thoughtseize. All right, so animate this, crew this, go to combat, attack with the Copter, trigger the Copter, loot, get rid of Thoughtseize. Man, we're drawing a land. Okay, that's just awful. Back to them. Drew Charmed Scoundrel. So they can put the Wicked Roll on their Knight. Yeah, puts the Wicked Roll on their Knight. Sure. Oh, boy. All right, I got to Fatal Push this thing. So cast Fatal Push on this thing. Rave Enfeeblement, which I also can't target. So if I play this land, I have 4 mana Hive. I still can't, like, actually get into a position where I can get rid of this. Oh, my God. All right. Animate Mutavault. We have to find something. So crew, combat, attack with the Copter. Trigger, loot, Gix. It's something, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Ray is not really helping me here. So, man, the Wicked Roll token. Oh, man, so if I play Gix, then I have a black permanent, and that makes this a 5-power creature. Then I can't. Then if I don't block, then the moment this dies, the Wicked Roll falls off and I lose. So the best move is play Gix, chump this. That's terrible, but it's kind of what we got to do. All right, let's get rid of Ray. So land Gix, then over to them. They attack, we have to block. Graveyard Trespasser, you say. So Graveyard Trespasser, Mutavault, animate, and we can double block it. Christ. All right, that actually works. Graveyard Trespasser, eat, I don't know, Tajik. Oh, wait, we're on the Knight side? Oh, then okay. I thought I could, yeah. All right, well, should have targeted 2 things, obviously. Oh yeah, this has 4 toughness. So even that doesn't work, right? Because it's 4 toughness, so even if I double block, they kill Glutton first, and then it doesn't work. Yeah. All right, so I guess I'm just, what? Animating Mutavault and chumping it. So animate Mutavault. All right, block with Mutavault. Another Graveyard Trespasser, you say. How many creatures are in the yard? There's one, just 1, 2. So I can play the second Trespasser and double block. All right, so Trespasser, eating this guy and this guy. And I can actually double block it now. Wow. Why don't I race? Because I'm not going to win the race. Chain Whirler. All right. We still trade, right? Even with that. Because I go block, it's 3 and 2, and then I still trade. Castle locked. What am I doing next turn? I have to dual block this, and I can animate Hive to... Man, this also has first strike. So the best bet is probably to draw a card and try to find something instead of just holding Hive open. All right. Draw a card. Mirrex. All right, we just pass. Why would I ever attack here? This has first strike. It just eats one of my guys for free, and then we're dead on the backswing. Why would I crew the Copter? Then I can't double block Knight. Plays another Knight. At least this one's not as big. All right, so Invoke Despair? So they lose 1 guy, which is going to be this thing. They lose the Wicked Roll token, and then I draw a card. So they lose this guy, the Wicked Roll, and I draw. Or Mirrex, make a token, the token crews the Copter. The Mirrex costs 3, so that's that, and then I can either draw or this one. All right, so if I do that, I have 2 blockers, and then I'm just dead here because I have to double block this thing. Yeah, I have to double block this thing in order to actually trade with it, and then I still need another blocker to block this stuff. And any blocks that I commit to the board, I guess I can throw 1 chumper in front of here, and then these guys can just block these guys for free. So I do need to have the option of blocking a 3rd creature. So let's just play Mirrex and pass, and then depending on what they do, we can draw, if possible. So it's back to them. Another knight. Oh my god. All right. I still think they're not going to attack here. Yeah, they're not attacking. So let's just activate Lockdwayne, because we kind of need to get out of this. Gix. All right. Another copter, you say. That is rough. All right, so Gix. And that allows me to hold Mirix up to animate the copter. So we just keep passing. Chop down on Graveyard Glutton. All right, resolve ward. Well, if it's going to die anyway, then I guess I use it to crew the copter. So crew the copter. All right, it dies. Then they play it. So that's 2 spells to flip this back to normal. And attack with everything. So how do I not lose to this? I go, this blocks one of the first strikers. Then I have to chump this thing. And then this has to chump a first striker. And then I go to 1. That's just awful. This has to get blocked. So block. And block here. And then it depends on what I loot, right? If I loot Fatal Push, I can kill this dude. But I can't block assuming that I'm going to loot the correct thing. So I have to just put this stuff here and just lose my board. It's so bad. All right, loot trigger. I looted Hearse, so that's completely unhelpful at this point. So get rid of that. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do anything else. I may as well make a might. All right, damage. So we go to 1, and then this thing dies. Well, we drew Ray now. What can I do here? They have 1 blocker, so I can Ray their blocker, attack with the might, this dude, and Hive, and deal 8 to them, and that's not lethal. How much is this? They lose 2. So Ray, they have an enchantment. So this is 4 damage from here. So 5. Yeah, it's 8. I'm 1 short. Well, this has to die no matter what, because I can't be in a position where this can just tap one of my blockers. Actually, I only have 1 blocker, right? Plus maybe Hive. I guess if I play Copter, I can crew it with the might. So this has to die. And then I have enough mana to play Copter. So that's 3, and then I only have 4 mana left, so I can't activate Hive anymore. And that's 2 blockers, and then I'm still dead. Even if I play this, I guess I get to loot once on block, right? So if I just play this Copter, I do have enough to animate the Hive, right? But then this still taps a guy down. I guess they can't tap down Trespasser, well, without discarding a card, but they are going to draw a card. So Copter Ray, that dies. They attack. I block this thing. I animate the Copter, I block another thing, and then I only have 1 shot at finding something, and I'm still dead to 2 creatures in play. Yeah, we're dead. All right, round 5. This is not keepable. Mull this. This is keepable. What am I putting back? It's either Blood-Soaked or Graveyard Trespasser. I believe I'm supposed to go turn 1 Blood-Soaked, turn 2 Deep Cavern, turn 3 Gix if possible. So let's just put Graveyard back. Sunken Citadel. So it's another one of these decks. They're choosing blue. All right, play Blood-Soaked. Oh, it could be just control, I guess. A Darker Waste. All right. Let's attack first, I suppose. Swing. All right. Play the bat. It gets countered. All right. Yeah, so it's Lotus Ramp is what I'm assuming. Or just control, I guess. They do have, like, anchorages and stuff to animate. All right. Well, let's see if Gix can resolve. Probably not, but let's just try it. Go to combat. Attack with this Blood-Soaked. Get lost on our Gix. Sure. All right. They take 2, then it's back to them. Field of Ruin. Well, we got Shieldred mana, so let's just go to combat and attack with the Blood-Soaked. All right, let's see if this resolves. Memory Deluge. All right, they found the Get Lost, so they get lost in their upkeep. All right, well, let's map this, I guess. Map our Blood-Soaked champion. Top card's Fairy Dream Thief. Definitely putting that into the graveyard. If I play the castle, they're just going to kill it, but I can't not play the castle this turn. All right, let's map here again. A swamp. Okay, now I can just play the swamp. So, swamp. Combat, attack, opponent goes to 11, and then we have Fairy Dream Thief to activate from the graveyard. Opponent quick studies. Hallowed Fountain tapped. There's Teferi, which we can't do anything about. All right, end of turn, Dream Thief. And we're drawing these useless Fatal Pushes, unfortunately. So they still have field mana open, so... All right, let's Thoughtseize them, I guess. Another Teferi, and a change the equation. All right, so we take Teferi. So if I animate Mutavault, it forces them to use the field right now. I guess there's an off chance I can double map here and just kill their Teferi, so let's do that. So map, no, it's a swamp. All right, map, Fairy Dream Thief, put it in the graveyard. If I animate this Mutavault, they're just gonna shoot it, but I have nothing else to do anyway. I don't know. All right, so let's just go to combat, attack Teferi. All right, Teferi goes to 1, and then I'll just play a swamp and pass. And then I assume they'll end step shoot this, so... Yeah, all right, float, grab a swamp. And then I don't, strictly speaking, have to do this now, but let's just do it. I doubt Fatal Push will be of any relevance, but we may as well. So they do have a Gonjo in their hand to kill this thing, so we don't actually have the kill on Teferi next turn. Plus Teferi. Plays a Hallowed Fountain tapped. All right, that means I at least get one castle activation because they can't play field until next turn. Oh, they're going to Deluge now? No, March this guy. All right, well, I guess I'm going to shoot it. Fatal Push my own dude to get him into the graveyard. They can change that if they want, which is fine. All right, they're not. So then Teferi untaps these lands, and then it's back to us. Another Blood Soaked. All right, so let's cast Gix. All right, and then let's just play Castle, and let's just hold Castle mana open so we can draw another card. So there's Field of Ruin, plus this Teferi. Activating. All right, so let's activate Castle. Drew Bat. Then that resolves. Then we go grab another Swamp. Then Teferi untaps these guys. And then I do have 7 mana, so I can use the Gix, which only fails if they have, what, Tidebinder or something? And my hand's pretty bad. So, yeah, let's just Gix them. Let's just Gix them and discard everything. Get rid of everything. Land, Shark Typhoon, Hall. All right. Well, I mean, I guess I'm playing this tap land or Hall. I'll play Hall, and then we'll cast Shark Typhoon. Oh, they have counter spells for it. All right. And I can't even attack Teferi because they have a Gonjo in their hand, so pass to them. So I hit 3 lands, counterspell, Shark Typhoon. Unfortunate. Oh, there's Castle Ardenvale. And now we're just going to keep falling further and further behind on the board. Memory Deluge. Then Teferi untaps some lands. We drew a land, which we're not going to play. All right, so I thought I had a Dream Thief in my graveyard, but I guess I don't. Well, Gix you, I guess. Discard a Swamp. Verdict. Yeah, well, we're not casting that. All right, back to them. Then Deluge. We play a map land. Teferi plus. This game might actually come down to timing them out. Not in this game, because we were going to lose before that, but the match overall. Quick Study. I mean, if they're not going to kill Gix, then I'm just going to keep spending my turns. They have 10 cards in their hand? Jesus. I was about to say I'm just going to keep spending my turns Gixing them. They discarded Quick Study, land. All right. Heartless Act's useless. Gix you, discard this removal spell. Veto was exiled. Yeah, we're not casting that. Back to them. Odawara Gix back to our hand, okay? And then they're making a 1/1. Sure. So this is at least 3 a turn, so we are going to die pretty fast here. G's control is so boring. Yeah. It's mainly the problem is cards like Teferi that just sit in play and draw another card every single turn for no cost. Plays a Narset. Narsets. I mean, at this point, they just need to close the game out. Like, they're just taking unnecessary actions that are eating up their time. Finds Wandering Emperor. Maps a thing. I'm fine with them just having as much of this as they want, because I think a legitimate way to actually win this game is going to be clocking them out. Cast the Bat. Opponent changes it. Cast Gix. End of turn Emperor, right? Yeah, end of turn Emperor. March of Otherworldly Light, our dude. All right. So game 1 down. Sideboarding versus control. We want Invoke, we want Go Blank, we want Duress, and depending on what I'm cutting, maybe Hearse. So I'm cutting Fatal Push. Heartless Act's pretty bad. I'll leave one of them in and play a Hearse, and we'll submit that. So my goal now is to win, but if I can't do that, then drag the timeout as much as possible. We should win these. Control's a very bad deck. Control had the 2nd best win rate at the RC, just slightly behind Enigmatic Fires, so it is by no means a bad deck. All right, we're on the plate. This hand is kind of weak, but I mean, it's threat into threat into threat, so let's go with it. Worse, obviously, against the sweeper deck, so Blood Soaked, and they play this land. All right, Mutavault, combat, attack, plays a land, back to us. All right, I'm not going to play Thoughtseize this turn. Let's just attack them. All right, Graveyard Trespasser. So I will Thoughtseize them next turn. Opponent temp lockdowns, that only eats the Blood Soaked, which is fine. All right, Thoughtseize. Wandering Emperor. All right, so take that. And then land, Graveyard Trespasser, eat Emperor, combat, swing. All right, they're at 13. And they do have to cast Deluge this turn if they don't want these to flip. They drew Verdict off the top. Jesus Christ. All right, opponent has literally everything. Exile this, animate. I guess I should be exiling my own creatures. It's fine. Attack. They're at 11. There's Island, Teferi. All right. They are plussing, so we do have to spend our turn trying to kill Teferi. So animate, go to combat, attack Teferi, trigger, eat a graveyard dude. Why even allow me to go to combat if they have the removal spell? All right, resolve ward. Discard Sunken Citadel. All right, so Teferi takes 2. All right, map the Mutavault. Map the Mutavault. Top card is what? Smuggler's Copter. That's not really helping at this point in the game. So bin that, land, Blood Soaked, back to them. Then Teferi goes to 4. They have a castle active that they can use to just chump block stuff or even trade with Blood-Soaked Champion. So I guess I have to Heartless the 1/1 maybe. I don't know. Shocks and Hallowed Fountain. March of Otherworldly Light are Blood-Soaked Champion. Now they can chump with this. So Animate, Gix, and then I'm one short of also having Heartless Act open. God damn it. All right. Animate, Mutavault, Combat. I'm not going to play Gix because I want to be able to get Teferi down to less loyalty. No, they're not castling here? Sure. Okay. That's fine then. So Teferi goes to 1, then we play Gix. Make Disappear, cool. And they still have the Mono to Deluge. All right, there's just no way we can win. They have Deluge, 2 more cards, draw a card for turn, draw a card with Teferi. There's no way. And they have Castle to block, so we can't even kill the Teferi. Man, there's like what? 1 chance that they don't draw anything to deal with Mutavault, and then we kill their castle token when they block with it. There's like 1 slight, ever so slight chance. Oh, they drew Field of Ruin. Okay, we're dead. Yep, all right, we can't possibly win. All right, 2 and 3 with Mono Black Aggro. It went about as I expected it, although I do feel like we got unbelievably unlucky in multiple games. But in particular, I think the problem is that the creatures in Mono Black are just like way worse than the creatures in the other colors. So if you're trying to be an aggro deck, like the Gix is really the only card in here that is really lending itself to where you would want to play black, whereas like all the other creatures in here are really bad. And even if you didn't play Dream Thief or Deep Cavern Bat and you just played like other more powerful creatures like Scrap Heap Scrounger and whatnot, I don't think even those are that good. Like when you compare it to the other colors, the Merfolk blue creatures have like counter spells and lords, like Spirits has counter spells and lords and stuff with flash. The red creatures have haste or, you know, have creatures that get bigger with prowess. The white creatures get really, really big and have indestructible and can exile stuff and have Thalia. And the black creatures just do not hold a candle to any of that. So Gix is really the only thing pulling you towards black. Shieldred's fine, but it's not like really necessary for an aggro deck, especially when it's 4 mana on the top end. So yeah, I feel like it's an aggro deck that's like, it's okay, but it's just not set up to do as well as aggro decks in the other colors.